This gameplay footage was hidden, but we found it, and it's the most genuine Pokemon Legends Arceus footage we've seen yet. That's right, this is exactly what it will feel like to play Pokemon Legends Arceus from moment to moment. How's everyone doing today? I'm Johto Johnny, and today we're going to analyze this hidden gameplay footage that just surfaced, literally an hour ago as I record this. A quick thanks to Twitter user Out of Context Dexter's Lab for tagging me to see the footage. Seriously, I can't thank you enough since everyone else was only tagging YouTubers with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, so it's seriously appreciated to have someone like you support my small channel. Now, to analyze the gameplay. First, I want you all to watch it uninterrupted before I analyze it, since it's a difficult video to find. Take a look, and we'll talk after you've seen this. It's amazing. P.S. I'll translate what I can here, but for the rest of it, I'll leave that to you guys down in the comments. I'm very limited on my Japanese.
あれ？立派じゃにゃい？よーし、狙いを定めて。それ！一歩前進だにゃ。私もやる。あら？どうしたのかしら。怖くないからこっちにおいで。ってうわ！嘘でしょ。攻撃してきたわよ。気性が荒いポケモンは人間にも容赦ないんだにゃ。攻撃をうまく避けたらポケモンを繰り出してバトル開始。相手の体力を減らして捕まえやすくするにゃ。なるほど。翡翠地方のポケモン恐るべしね。こうやってポケモンを捕まえたり。
So, how do you feel? That felt good, right? There are so many small details and nuances to cover. First, I'm very happy with the stopping animation the player character has and how smooth it is. I was worried about this with a previous leak that showed our player character sliding down a hill in an unpolished manner when trying to stop. However, that's no longer an issue it seems, and it looks better than ever. The weight of the halt is felt through the visuals, and I love it for that. I'm a sucker for small details. Continuing on, we get to see, once again, the look of shock on Bidoof's face and the weight of the ball hitting him there as we rudely throw it to snatch him from his freedom. Nah, I kid, we're gonna be his best friend. Anyways, next, we see the ball only jumps up once before releasing smoke to signify that the capture was successful. Will it always only bounce once, or is this just because it was a decisive capture of a weaker Pokemon? Time will tell. Even more though, when captured, Bidoof's info pops up on the screen and our Pokemon can be seen via UI in the top left gaining experience points. Afterwards, Bidoof's info joins in on the same corner. I wonder if this is to signify that Bidoof joined our party upon its capture. In which case, I just had a thought. Without a PC box, do we need to always have slots open in our team to capture new Pokemon? I'd assume there is an intuitive PC replacement system with the Pokemon Ranch being in place, but hey, you never know. This is a new take on the series, so anything can change. Continuing on, we begin running forward and Bidoof's Pokeball can be seen warping back to the player's pocket. Pretty dang cool effect. Seriously, there's so much polish in Legends, it's insane. Now, I know I may as well address this before people take to the comment section, but yes, assets are popping in the background. However, they're very far away, and even Breath of the Wild had pop-in at that distance, so personally, this is no issue for me. And I was one of the most vocal critics of Sword and Shield's insanely close pop-in. The last thing to note is that we now know what the overworld music is.
あれ？立派じゃにゃい？よーし、狙いを定めて。それ！ 前進だにゃ。
Now we have a video of us fighting Shinx without our Pokemon. There's a lot of conjecture to make about what's happening here. For starters, for some reason, Shinx has an ellipses bubble above his head before we enter this line of sight. No other Pokemon we've seen in any footage so far has had the ellipses bubble. My guess is this means he's on alert from noise, but hasn't spotted you yet. Or he does see you and is curious, but not feeling threatened yet. This would be our first warning sign to hide our approach slowly. Of course, in this footage, we don't do that, and a huge exclamation point appears above Shinx as well as our lock-on cursor. Next, Shinx yells at us with a red aura. This is either a move, meaning Shinx just used a move that ups his attack, or this is just a warning sign we get early on in the game from weaker, aggressive Pokemon to learn of the danger before they actually attack us. Even cooler, there's an icon of a flashing red eye at the top of the screen that signifies even more to the player that they're spotted. Even more though, the person playing doesn't care and walks up nonchalantly to the Shinx only to get hit by a charged dash attack. Well, they had that coming. Before we move on, we can note that there is an NPC on the bridge in the background. Next, we see Geodude do a move that looks a lot like Rollout. The player simply narrowly runs out of the way of this. Shortly after, we see our character dodge roll out of the way of an agitated Staravia. Did I mention I love the animations in this game? New Pokemon interactions aside, there's something very curious about both of these clips. We can see some sort of stone in the background. In the Geodude shot, there's a gray one in the back. In the Staravia clip, there's two red ones. I assume these are materials we can break apart and use to craft or to sell. I like the way they look. Even more curious, in the Staravia clip, as the camera turns, we see something blue and yellow in the background. Looks like a blob of sorts. Is this a Pokemon? A sleeping Snorlax maybe? Or something else altogether? I'm not entirely sure, but if you have any ideas, type them up down in the comments please. Next, we see our character throw Oshawott out to fight Staravia, with the usual close-up to signify that the battle's begun. The biggest thing to note here is just how far we are from the battle. We've seen our character get hit by the enemy Pokemon in previous clips, so this further confirms we need to be strategic about where we throw our Pokemon out in conjunction to where we are. This looks to be as safe a distance as any. Next, when we throw a ball out to catch Staravia, we can see a tree wiggling in the background. We know from previous trailers that this means there's a wild Pokemon in there. Cool to know that even though we're in a battle, the environments around us continue to live as usual. I do wonder though, what happens when other wild Pokemon are around? Do they stay in our line of sight? Or do they disappear altogether? If you have any ideas on that too, feel free to type that out in the comments as well. Oddly, when we catch Staravia, the camera closes up to the ball and gives us a dialogue box. This is different from when we caught Bidoof. I think this is because we caught the Staravia from battling it, rather than not entering battle. Or perhaps it's because of what I mentioned earlier. We don't have space on our team, so the game prompts us to transfer them wherever we want to transfer them to. I'm siding more so with it being because we caught it in the battle, but may as well not jump to conclusions, so figured I'd toss ideas around. I've been Johto Johnny, and after commenting all your thoughts below and smashing the subscribe button, I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Thank you once again for watching. Peace out, everybody.